Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Mr. Blue Blue. Just want to let you know a little bit about what's going on in Arizona. They're about to open up their medical marijuana patient thing over there, and that's going to open up on the 14th of April. So stay tuned for that. And well, the reason I'm even bringing it up is because I read the proposition, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the transition is going to go from what they're doing now, which is absolutely zero tolerance, to having patients come in and get a recommendation and go into possibly even like a pharmacy or something to get their medical cannabis. So it's going to be interesting to watch and see how Arizona does it. One of the things that made it interesting is that in order to have a dispensary out there, you have to grow your own medical cannabis. Now the idea is that a lot of pharmacies are trying to get these commercial licenses, or licenses to be able to grow cannabis for their patients. But let's be real, how many professional growers in that state that are pharmacists are going to be able to do their thing, right? I imagine there's a couple of pharmacists out there that smoke a little bit, but I don't know if they're ready to grow all kinds of cannabis for their patients, So that's going to be interesting to see how that works. And then, the thing is that you go in, go get your recommendation, and when you get your recommendation, it's not like here in California. Over there, you're required to get your card. You're going to have a state card, and you get your state card, you apply for it, and let me tell you, you got to have a pretty debilitating reason for getting your medical cannabis recommendation. I'll tell you that much. I mean, like cancer, leukemia and hepatitis C, and HIV and AIDS, and all that kind of pretty heavy stuff. So we're going to see how that works out. Also, in order to grow your own cannabis in Arizona, you have to be a minimum of 25 miles away from a dispensary. So, which won't be a problem, I don't think, because there's only going to be about 20 to 25, I'm not remembering off the top of my head, dispensaries per pharmacy. So for every 25 pharmacies, alright, I said it wrong, for every 25 pharmacies or so, 20 to 25 pharmacies, there can only be one dispensary. So whether that be one, I don't know how that works out. If it's the pharmacy is a dispensary, then I don't know if it comes into play or what. So that's cool. That's gonna wow. Now if you want to grow your own smoke, like I said, you have to be at least 25 miles away from a dispensary. And not only that, you just can't say, well, you know what, I live 25 miles away from a dispensary. No, it has to be reflected on your Arizona medical cannabis card. It's got to say so on there. So and there's 12 plants per patient. So it's not like a whole lot. I think it's like Arizona patients are allowed to carry, I think, up to 2.5 ounces. So it's going to be a very stringent law. So for those of you that like to keep up on what's going on, I suggest you keep your eye on Arizona, because that's up and coming. I mean, congratulations. I mean, you guys are in. The door has been cracked open. That's where you stick in your leg and try to get your knee in there, and then push a hip in there, and we'll work it out. We'll work our way in. So here we go. Arizona, congratulations. And if you can give me an update, anybody that happens to be watching this in Arizona, and let me know how that transition is going, or even before that, because right now when I'm doing this channel right here, right now, this show, it's only February. So if some of you can send me some stuff letting me know what they're doing to boot up, as far as like the health department and law enforcement and everything, it'd be cool, because I'd like to be updated, and that way I can update everybody else too. So right on with that. So cool. That's what's happening in Arizona. It makes it interesting and exciting, because as mainstream as everybody may think it is to smoke pot or medicate, it's only 15 states in the whole nation that are doing this. So it's not that mainstream yet. And even in the states that do have the medical cannabis laws, it's a constant struggle. from the city level to the state level to the federal level. It's still, you know, it's still a big hassle, even though like in California it's been, you know, something that's been around for since '96. We're still having to deal with law enforcement, and they're still having to deal with how to treat us when they do decide to pull us over, or, you know, want to see how much cannabis we're supposed to have, and want to go through our plants and that kind of thing. I mean, it's still a heart-beating situation, you know, even though in the end you can, you know, you'll end up, you know, probably getting over, although not all the time. There's lots of cases right now that are recent, that are from the you know, the 215 years that you know, have happened since 215, that are still in litigation right now. So, you know, it's still a hassle. If you want to go mainstream and hardcore and do your own thing, yeah, it's you know, you're still butting your head up against, you know, the government and Big Brother and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we're not out of the woods. We're in the woods. We may be able to see little cracks over there, see a little civilization, but we're not out of the woods yet. But we're there, right? You know, we're there, right? We're able to medicate, thank goodness for that, and be able to do what we need to do, right? Thank goodness for that. So that's what I got to say about Arizona. On the upside, which is actually another upside, because Arizona's pretty cool, they're getting their thing, man. I mean, they're moving forward, is I told you from time to time I'm going to be reviewing a book here and there, and you know, if you have a story, or even if you got busted and you were totally legal and that kind of stuff, let me know, because I want to know about it. Now, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. I'm not in any capacity to advise you, but, you know, at least I have an idea of what's going on, and I can send you into the right directions as far as any kind of research you need to do or anything like that. You know, I've learned a lot from the Americans for Safe Access, so, you know, that's one resource that I deal with, you know, that helps me, you know, gets me the information I need. So get involved. Okay, anyways, I've got a book I just read. It's called Weed Man. Pretty interesting stuff. I mean, if you like reading and you are looking for stuff that's kind of like cannabis related, you know, even if it's fiction or non-fiction, you just like to read and have a good time reading, and you know, I've done all the grow books, and you know, I've done all the grow room books, and you know, that kind of stuff. So that's cool, and I love it. I mean, it's always new, fresh information out there. But once in a while, you want to give your mind a break. You want to go on a little fantasy ride, and that's why I'm bringing to your attention Weed Man. This is written by John McCaslin. He's a renowned writer, right? Like, you know, he's done articles in really big publications and stuff. So this guy actually is a pretty famous author, but what kind of trips me out a little bit is that he kind of went off his regular stuff, and he's writing about this 1970s smuggler that brought cannabis in from Colombia in through Miami, through the Bahamas. So it's pretty interesting how they had high-tech stuff and how they did their thing, you know, in the 70s. And so this is a story of Jimmy Devine. Really great book if you, like I said, if you like adventure, if you like reading about how they did it back in the 70s, if you like reading about, you know, to me, this is somewhat of, you can say, cannabis history, for the good or for the bad. That's how cannabis got here in the 70s, you know. So, you know, it's something to look into if you like looking at that kind of stuff. So I recommend Weed Man by John McCaslin. I picked it up at Borders, you know, and you know, and it's fun to read. So, you know, I medicate, I do my thing, but I love to read. I like to keep up on current events, you know. So here you go. Again, just thanks for checking my channel out. And there's going to be more stuff coming up. I'm telling you, there's going to be more stuff coming up. I've got things lined up. So keep tuning in every once in a while. Check me out, and thanks. Alright, this is Mr. Blue Goo. If you got any questions for me, mrbluegoo@gmail.com. Otherwise, you could catch me on Facebook. Alright, oh, by the way, let me not forget, I also have some articles that I've written on hubpages.com. That's hubpages, like, you know, hubcap, but hubpages.com. And on the little search thing, just put in Mr. Blue Goo. Alright, take care.